Hello everyone, this is James from 3D Printing Reviews and welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be part one of a series of videos that I'm going to be making detailing the upgrades that I'm going to be doing to my NFire1 Delta printer. This printer came from a Kickstarter campaign that I backed from a company called NFire Labs, who are based in Hull. So this printer, basically, when you ordered it, you had the option to upgrade the Z height. I just stuck with the standard Z height because that was good enough for me. But what I'm going to be doing actually is adding a lot more features to the printer that wasn't available when you purchased the printer. So those upgrades include a heated bed. We're going to be adding a new extruder high-end system called the Prometheus system, which is currently on Kickstarter. There'll be a link in the description for that campaign if you wish to back it. This is also going to include designing and printing multiple 3D parts that we can attach to the printer, all of which will have separate videos so that you can see what's involved with upgrading the printer. So yeah, so let's have a look at a video that I shot showing some of the parts that I've ordered and received already. There's a couple of parts I haven't received yet, and obviously the Prometheus system. So come back after you've watched that video. Okay, so let's have a look at the parts for the upgrades of the NFire1 Delta printer. So the first part I have here is a heated bed. An aluminium topped heated bed, PCB heated bed. This is a 220mm diameter bed, 3mm thick. So that's the first part that I ordered for this upgrade, because it was the first thing that I thought about upgrading. So to go with that heated bed, we have a wired thermistor, and I'll have a link in the description to where all these parts came from, but this came from Flux Workshop, an eBay seller. Next thing we have is some Kapton tape, which will be used to secure the thermistor and also wires, etc. So yeah, that's the heated bed. Now obviously with the heated bed upgrade, that's going to put some extra load on the power supply that came with the NFire1. So that also is getting an upgrade. This is a 12 volt 30 amp power supply with screw terminals. So that should have enough power to power the heated bed and the ramps set up. So the next thing that we need next part we need would be a power inlet. So this is a fused power inlet. It's also switched as well. So there's that. I'm also going to be printing a cover for this. Bed mounts for the heated bed, and various other parts which I'll go through in a minute. Next thing we need is some cable. So we've got some 14 gauge silicone wire, some 12 gauge silicone wire and that will be for the heated bed specifically, so that we don't lose any power, and then some 22 gauge wire for the smaller connections. I'm also going to do some upgrades to the ramps board, because I've just read a few things online which I think make sense, so I'm going to upgrade some items here. So we're going to be installing some inline fuse holders to replace the poly fuses. So in here we have a 5 and a 10 amp blade fuse. Just let the camera focus on that, which are quite neat. What else have we got? Obviously some fuses to go in the inlet, some spare
blade fuses, a bit more cable that I already had, a voltage and amp display, which is again going to be put in the housing that I print for this. This is just so I can monitor the voltage and the amperage that the heated bed is going to use. So that'll only be monitoring that. I also wanted to have some nicer connections and terminals, so I've bought myself a complete set of crimp connectors with a ratchet tool, so they'll come in really handy. And then there's a couple of other bits that I've ordered which aren't here yet, which is a DC to DC SSR, which I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to use that yet, but that will be for controlling the heated bed. Rather than connecting the heated bed directly to the ramps board, this will be used basically in between the ramps board and the heated bed. And I've also ordered some T-nuts to go into the 20-20mm extrusions that the NFire1 is constructed with. Then also, to keep everything all neat and tidy, I've got some tubing here. This is, I believe, 9mm diameter tubing, non-split, so that I can feed the wires in, and then again going to be designing and 3D printing some clips to mount these to the printer itself. So yeah, I think. And there's one more upgrade that I'm going to be doing to the NFire1. Another Kickstarter campaign, and that's the Prometheus system. Basically, that is a new hot end. It's a Prometheus 2 hot end, and the system basically introduces a splitter that goes in the top of the hot end to print in two materials. That can be two colours of the same PLA or ABS, or you could have support material and PLA and ABS, or whatever two materials you want. So that system includes two geared stepper motors, which I'm going to have to design and print a mount for, and the electronics to go with it. There'll be a link in the description to the Kickstarter. There's only a few days left on that, so if you're interested in backing it, I'd have a look fairly soon. So yeah, other than the parts you see here and the parts that are on order, there's just going to be a few printed parts that need to be designed and made. Like I say, there's a cover for the power supply already on Thingiverse, which I really like. I'm going to have to do a few slight modifications to fit my display, but other than that, that'll be a direct print. Yeah, so it's just cable clips and bed mounts that will be printed after that. So yeah, so that's a summary of the parts that are ordered and the parts that are on the way.
So there we go, there's a short video of some of the parts that have been ordered and received so far for the upgrade. And as you can see, it's going to be quite an extensive upgrade that we're going to be performing on the NFire1. Like I said, this is going to be a series of videos, so make sure you're subscribed if you want to see the rest of them. I think the next video will be having a look at the bed mounts that I've got to be designed and 3D printed, and then we'll basically work our way through the upgrades from there. So thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and keep an eye out over the next day or so for an exciting update to the channel that I've been working on. So yeah, hopefully you'll like that update that's coming. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.